Hello and welcome. Today I'm going to show you how to configure the initial settings of a router. So we're going off of packet tracer, so it's not going to be the exact same thing as in real life, but hopefully it's packet tracer tries to be as close to real as possible. So packet tracer wants us to go to the connections. So in order to do that, we need to go over to our selection over here and want us to click connections. And over here we have all of the cables that we can choose from, and we go to console and we go over to click on the PCA, and we have all of these things to connect the console cable to. As you can see, if we try to click USB, it doesn't work. So we want to go over to our RS232, which is basically your serial cable or serial connection. And now we go over to click to router, and it wants us to go to console. And then we go and click over to PCA and go to the desktop tab. And then we go over and click to terminal. Over here it already has our settings configured. In real life it may or may not have your settings already configured, so you'll have to do that. And so we just go over here and click OK. So it has all of our router information with our where is it? We have our versions and our software release and stuff like that. So go and enter, and it wants us to go to privilege exec, so you do that by typing in the command enable. And okay, so it wants to show running config, and okay, it has questions. So router, what's the host name? So the host name is router, as it tells you right here. It has, okay, so how many fast Ethernet cables or fast Ethernet interfaces? So if we go and continue down, it shows us that we have 1, 2, 3, 4 fast Ethernet, and we have 2 gigabit Ethernet and 2 serial interfaces. How many VTY lines? So if we go over down to here, you can see we have 0 to 4 VTY lines. Show the start config. Okay, show start. I cannot type today. Show start. Oh. And the start config is not present. This is because we haven't told the router what we want to have it do on startup. It just does its natural thing with if we go all the way up here, show versions and what software release you're on. So if we go all the way down here, go down here. Okay, so it wants us to configure the host name. To do that, we have to go to our configure terminal area. Okay, so in order to set the host name, you type in host name. Let's just do this. Host name R1, and there you go. Our host name is configured. Your host name is always shown right here, and as you can see, it's changed as we changed our host name. So the privilege exec, it wants us to the console. Okay, so console, it wants us to change the console, set a console password. So in order to do that, we need to go to line console 0. Okay, so it wants the password to be let me in. To do that, we need to type in password, and then let me in. And now we've set the password, but if we go back to the start, as you can see, we're in the console, and if we press enter, it doesn't tell us to input a password. So in order to do that, enable. In order to do that, we need to go back to where we were and type in login. This just basically tells the router that we want to have the password that we put in be required in order for us to log into the router. So we go back. It wants us to put in the privilege exec passwords. It wants unencrypted and encrypted. So to do this, we type in enable, and this is where the difference comes in. For unencrypted, you type in password, but for encrypted, you type in secret. So let's just start with password, and it wants us to type in Cisco for the password. And for the unencrypted, we type in enable secret, and then it's a secret. And this right here is our passwords, if I didn't say that before. So this is our password. We're telling the router to have us type in. So enter, and I want to show you one thing. If we go back to our running config, you can see that the secret has the password encrypted, and the password itself, the command password, is not, or doesn't encrypt it. So in order to encrypt it, we want to go back to our config and type in service password encryption, and this just encrypts all the plain text passwords in your running config. So if you so going back over to here, it wants us to type in the message of the day. So this is just basically tells the people when they're logging in. Let's say, what's an example?
Authorized users only.
Oh yeah, authorized users only, or something like what is it, maintenance times and stuff like that. So to do this, you do banner MOTD and unauthorized authorized access only, authorized access. Ooh. I spelled that right? Yeah. Okay. Access only. Oh, okay. I need to. Oh, I messed out. So unauthorized. Let's try that again. Unauthorized access is strictly prohibited. Okay. So the reason why I have these special characters here is is to tell the router where my banner actually starts and where it ends. You can use any special character as long as you have the same special character. Say you start with the percent. If you have the percent over here, if we go back over here, it has to be exactly the same as the special character at the end. Go over here. Okay. Now we've set our banner MOTD. Let's see. If we go back to the start, as you can see, we have we're at the beginning. We press enter. It tells us to enter our password, so let me in, and then we go back to our privilege exec. So we go to enable, and back up here we typed in Cisco, and it's a secret. So if I type in Cisco, it doesn't work. CISCO, it doesn't work. So, and let's try it's a secret. So it's a secret. And the reason why that didn't work is because, let's just go back here, is because it's a secret overrides the enable password, or enable secret overrides enable password, because as you can see, password doesn't have the strongest encryption, while the secret actually has a way stronger encryption. Okay. So now that we've set all of the commands and stuff that now that we've set all the things that we want the router to do, we've got to actually save it to, the startup config to tell the router that, hey, we want this to run on startup. So in order to do that, we copy the running config to the startup config. And it tells us, hey, do you want to actually save this file to the startup config? Yes. You press enter to do that. So now, show start. As you can see, we have all of our things that we've done right here. We have our passwords, we have our host name, we actually have our password encryption up here. We have all of the other stuff. We have our passwords down here. We have our banner MOTD. Okay. Now it wants us to show the flash. Okay. Where's the flash? Show flash. In order to do that, you just do the show flash. Okay. So how many files are saved in the flash? Let's see. We have three files. We have our iOS image, or iOS image, and how we know that is if we show version. It shows us right here. We have our software right here. You have the C1900. It tells you right here. We have our version 15.1, and then you have the in parentheses 4 and M4. If we look up here, you have it all right here. And then if you So now it tells us to copy the startup config to flash. So copy start to flash. Yes, we want to save it. So if we show flash, as you can see, it saved it into the flash, and each of these saves has a different length up here. This is because of the amount of stuff saved into it. So if we go and copy our running config to our flash, yes, we want to save it. So we show flash. Okay. So we have our start config right here, and we have our running config. As you can see, we have exact same numbers for running config as we do startup config. And this is because the startup config is an exact copy of the running config. So if we change something on the running config, so let's go with config via terminal, and we change, let's go with no enable password, and we go back and as show run, so we can show that we've actually gotten rid of the enable password, so we no longer have that password in there. So if we go and show, oh nope, we haven't copied it yet, so we copy the running config to the flash, and it asks us, yes, if we want to send it there, and do you actually want to overwrite it? Yes, we want to overwrite this. So if we show our flash, as you can see, the numbers have changed because it's no longer an exact copy, or the startup config is no longer an exact copy of the running config. So if we go back and change that, let's see, enable password Cisco, and then go back, copy flash, yes, we want to overwrite, and show flash. If we do that, as you can see, now they're exact copies once again. And that's all I have for you today. Thanks for watching.